I've had it for years.
It'd be good if I had a pair of.
Actually, we match. Your tie and my tallis match.
Well, it's
Didn't even dress it.
St. Patrick's.
It's pretty, but I just did this. This is very cool. Yeah. Manora hamakom hazeh, Manora hamakom hazeh, Manora hamakom hazeh, Manora hamakom hazeh. Find this in your leaflet. Manora hamakom hazeh. How awesome is this place? It can mean a lot of different things. Manora hamakom hazeh. 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 Hamona hamakom hazeh. Manora hamakom hazeh. Manora hamakom hazeh. Imagine wakening up from a dream, a vision of a ladder with angels going up and down, and you don't know where they started. And then you anoint the place that this happened. This is what Jacob said. We don't know the tune he sang, but this is one. Manora hamakom hazeh. Hamanora hamakom hazeh. I'll be speaking about that a little later, so I hope you'll stay.
Well, I thank Dr. Foster for getting us started. That melody, that's by Shefa Gold. And Shefa Gold, that's her specialty. She sings these, what do we call them?
Chants.
These chants. And you can look her up. It's wonderful. She says a chant really hasn't gotten started until you've done it for at least 3 minutes.
And that it's the silence afterwards which brings the insight.
So as Dr. Foster said, or Yonina, we're going to have a chance to hear her words, some very spiritual, deep words, the essence of who she is as a human being, but as a rabbi now. She's about to finish her program, almost. And we're going to have a chance to really hear those words that she prepared. So we have a beautiful service. Let's start off with a Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. And we'll take a nice deep breath, breathing in just the holy air and breathing out all the fumes and the exhaust from the week. I'm going to invite Bruce Chorus over to give our welcome.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. A rabbi who can sing.
Well, she's trained as a cantor.
Well, that's true. She does have an advantage in that, but still, a rabbi who can sing. Who knew? Shabbat shalom, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. For those of you watching at home, I'm wearing green. The color on your computer is all screwed. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, it's nice to see everyone tonight. I know that we were a little worried about the weather. Was it going to snow? Was it going to do this? It's not bad out, so it's good for us to be able to be together. And thank you to Dr. Foster for filling in. Cantor Frank is off, it's St. Patrick's Day. She's off carousing. It's what they do in the Frank family. No, she is taking some well-deserved days off after the marathon session she put in getting us ready and directing the Purim spiel. And these are some well-deserved days off for her. We have a beautiful service planned tonight. We'll be hearing from Yonina in voice, in song, and the rabbi has a few things planned as well. And I'll be back later with the announcements, which, come to think of it, Joanne hasn't given to me yet, so I have to go get them. Shabbat shalom.
Let's look around. Every week it's a little different. The collection that comes in here, it's a holy collection. It's important that we take note of one another. Each of us really adds to the warmth and the vibrancy of the world, of the sanctuary we have here. Our sanctuary, when you're not in it, it's quiet. But when we come together on Friday or any service that we're here, we look around. It's a different place, and it's different because you're here. So thank you for coming out tonight. Even though it was raining a little, this is our nicest Shabbat we've had in a month, I think. We are going to light our candles and do Kiddush on page 120. And I'm going to invite Charlie Vogel. I'm so glad you're back. Can you light our candles for us? You've got a little Irish in you, I think.
Just the spirit.
Just the spirit. Yeah, we'd love to have you. Often Charlie has his Boston Celtics gear, which is also green, right? So there are matches right there. And let's bring in our Shabbat lights as Yoni will lead us in the prayer on 120.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
May the candles light our way through Shabbat. Now, Charlie, if you could just lift the Kiddush cup there. The Kiddush is on page 123. And Yonina's going to lead us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. Yesher koach. Thank you, Charlie. And go St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, you're good. We're going to turn to page 125. This reading really hits home for me today, and let's read it. Our week, how ephemeral, how quickly it vanishes right before us. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide. Help me withdraw for a while from the flight of time. Contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat abide. This poem always makes me think of my great uncle Jack. That was my grandfather's brother. And he worked hard his whole life. His parents were in the junk business, and they took over and started a plumbing supply store. And he always had a traditional, he wanted to observe Shabbat, but if you were in the plumbing supply business, you had to work on Saturday. That was the way that things were in order to maintain your business. But when he finally retired, he was the most observant Jew in Harrisburg. And his children, they've all moved to Israel because of his great love of Zionism. So I always think of Jack. He finally, after he retired, had an opportunity to observe Shabbat. Let's turn to page 138, and we'll officially welcome that Shabbat presence into our life. L'cha Dodi will sing the first and last verse. On the last verse, we rise, face the doorway. Shabbat symbolically comes into the room. We bow to her, and then we welcome one another by waving at each other.
Lecha Dodi likrat kahala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmianu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem ultiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Bo'i v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'v'tzohala, Toch emunei am segula, Bo'i chala, Bo'i chala.
We welcome one another.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Yadadai, 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 yadadai.
Page 146, our call of community. We recognize how important we are to one another's life as we sing the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Page 149 at the top. Let's read together in the English. We remain standing. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the ways on which time and seasons glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. And we turn to 152, 153 for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta
You may be seated.
et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha
154.
u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
And let's read together in the English on 155. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gates. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. How many of you have noticed the moon this week? I've been noticing I guess the sky has been clear, like around Purim. It was so big. Did you see it? It was, especially at certain times, it was this ginormous, like, I call it an E.T. moon. If you remember the movie E.T., the moon was just ginormous, right? And we're now at the point where it's only the half of the moon that we see. That's our timer down to Passover. We have just a few weeks to go until Passover, and we celebrate that moment of Exodus on 158 with a Mi Chamocha.
מי כמוך באלים יא, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים יא, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה ימלוך לעולם ועד לעולם ועד ימלוך לעולם ועד לעולם ועד מי כמוך באלים יא, מי כמוך באלים יא, נדר בקודש, נורא בקודש. Mi kamocha ba'elim ya. Mi kamocha nedar bakodesh norah. Tehilot osef ele. Malchutecha uvanecha bokea yam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Ze'eli anu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar Ki fada Adonai et Yaakov ugalo mi'ad chazak mimenu Baruch ataya Ga'al Yisrael.
Bless you, God, who saved us in moments in our life where we didn't know that we could be saved. Thank you for restoring our faith and knowing that there are possibilities beyond what we imagined. I'm going to invite you to rise. We have our silent Amida, Tefillah. It starts on page 164 through 180. Take your time now, either the Hebrew or the English, or just your own private prayers, and whenever you're ready, you may be seated.
And I'm going to just sing them into it, okay? It's not on our program. Love surround you, peace surround you, angels surround you every day, all day long. Morning, noon, and night, you are surrounded by the light. You are surrounded by the light of God, the light of peace, the light of love. You are surrounded by the light of God, the light of peace, the light of love.
In your leaflet, there is a song by Debbie Friedman that Yonina picked out called Holy Places. So just take a look for it. And Yonina, it's not one of Debbie Friedman's. I don't think I know this one.
These are the gifts that we bring, that we may build a holy place. This is the spirit that we bring, that we may build a holy place. We will bring all the goodness that comes from our hearts, and the Spirit of God will dwell within. These are the colors of our dreams we bring to make a holy place. This is the weaving of our lives we bring to make a holy place. We will bring all the goodness that comes from our hearts, and the Spirit of love will dwell within. These are the prayers that we bring, that we may make a holy place. These are the visions that we seek, that we may build this holy place. Let our promise forever be strong. Let our souls rise together in song. And the Spirit of God and the Spirit of love, Shekhinah, will dwell within.
That's a beautiful one. I never heard that before.
Hope you'll get to hear it again sometime.
We're going to turn to our prayers of healing on page 371. Another Debbie Friedman melody, Misha Berach. I'm going to read our list from our community. We have a lot of really hard situations, and we're going to direct our attention. We can't fix them, but we hope that by directing attention at the people we love, and that we hope for that they'll find healing, we hope that it gives them a measure of hope. We are thinking about, as a community, Margie Abelson, Richard Zyback, Paula Charvella, Dennis Epstein, Murray Ettinger, Sue Frank, Ellen Frankie, Ida Frost, Freda Goodstein, Esther Green, Karen and Gary Greenfield, Carolyn and Ernest Grosser, Ruth Lansing, Miles Levy, Savannah Lucas, Megan McEvoy, Jill Shire Monahan, Karen Rosenfeld, Cheryl Rossi, Brandon Ryan, Gertrude Sloan, Alan Strauss, Jill Terabasi, Robin Weinstein, Mike Wheeler, Colette Zappia, Yecheved Bat Esther, Miriam Bat Razel, Abraham Bat Rivka, Hannah Ezra Ben Shuel, and Reuven Ben Morris, and Jim Bukowski, really sending a lot of prayers his way. Let's go around. If you have other names, just raise your hand. Yes, thank you. We're sending a lot of prayers. Olivia, strep throat. I know she's going to get better, yeah. Yeah, Rob.
Sam Harahan.
We'll collect all those names into our heart as we sing the Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
A complete healing of body and soul. So you might notice that Yonina feels a little lighter this week. She has been working so hard, you might not realize, and I think it's a real inspiration to go back to school and to really pursue your dreams. I know in my rabbinical school class, I was the youngest, I graduated at 30, but we had two graduates that were 62 years old. And it was wonderful to be able to have such a broad spectrum of people willing to do that. We're going to hear some of her words that she submitted. It's not quite over yet.
Right, end of June in New York City.
Do you want to share what the program is, and then I'm going to sit down?
Okay, briefly, I wish I'd brought that. It's a program that was founded by a Rabbi Joseph Gelberman of blessed memory. He has a wonderful book called Physician of the Soul, and he was actually a psychiatrist also in New York City, and he did a lot of interfaith work and decided to have people be able to prepare to be a modern rabbi. So a modern rabbi is more of a counselor leadership position with the traditional leadership that other rabbis have, but I didn't spend years studying Talmud. And that's one of the big differences, I think.
Without further ado, I'm going to go sit
I
down.
was going to stand closer, but I actually think I will stay here. I think I will, just because of the light, if that's okay. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll stay here. All right. So as I look out here, I was not expecting to see Rob here. I'm sorry, Rob. See, we grew up together. Our parents are friends, and I remember his parents, walking in. My family did not belong here, but I sang here next to Marlene Badger. I sat along, 79 to 82, I'd come back to Buffalo. So and Rabbi Kerman would walk up and down the stairs. I'm getting the chills. Okay, so that's sort of my story. I'm going to hold this out here. This will do it. Okay. So Rabbi Alex encouraged me to share with you tonight. So in a little more than 24 hours, I cut my thesis at least by more than half. All right, but still be patient. I also considered this week's double Torah portion, Vayachel, and he gathered, and Pikudei accounts. We gave to building the Mishkan so willingly that Moses had to say, "Stop!" We've been redeemed, received revelation, gone slightly astray with a golden calf, come to our senses at least for the moment, and given fully from our wise-hearted selves, to build the Mishkan where the divine's presence would reside and be portable. I give with my generous heart, my teruma, my offering to you about Hamakom Hazeh, this the place, as the book of Shemot names, or Exodus ends. My thesis began with sense of place, as in how could I move from the place I buried my husband, Maryland, to move back here, a place I hadn't resided in more than 35 years. My topic became about Hamakom, the place. God's divinity resides where I am. Hamakom is the essence of my deployment as a modern rabbi in serving the Jewish community and beyond. I will create space for people to experience Hamakom, their divinity within, and develop a relationship with the one I call Yod-Heh, Vav-Heh. This is what Creator invited us to do together on the journey of our lives, wherever we place our heads and allow our hearts to open, indoors or outdoors in nature. How will I do this? Create Hamakom Hazeh, this the place, with circles for us to gather and ponder the divine in our lives and those around us. We will breathe, sing, chant, share our stories of the holy temple of our being. We will support one another to see, recognize the spark of the divine within ourselves, accepting ourself where we are. The message of place began with end of day 3 creation. Elohim separated the waters beneath heaven into one place, Makom, and dry land appeared. God established boundaries for a place to exist. There was that garden we had to leave. Abraham left one place, spurred by God's command to journey toward a promised land. Stops meant a painful journey in Egypt, redemption by Yud, Vav He, 40 years of wandering. Transformed already that desert place where we received revelation, did so further as we built a sanctuary where the divine could reside. We were given laws to create a just society before finding ourselves at the doorstep of the promised land. It's about place, stopping, starting, finding the divine in the bush that does not burn, where children are birthed, where we live and die. So what is that place, that Hamakom? Where is it? wherever we are. Every moment can be Egypt or the garden or a pit from which we need to be extricated one more time. We need the reminder the divine is, was, and will be within and around us always. We weren't and aren't always aware then. Jacob recognized it, but there was a night of dreams, fear, and awe before he did. Makom, makom, and ma again makom. There is holiness in the place Jacob lays his head. It's connected to his father and grandfather, we are told. But for Jacob, there was a vision of a ladder with angels ascending and descending, and Yud Vav He stood over him to prophesy the journey and the generations to come. When Jacob awoke, awe and fear were together. And he saw God in this place and did not know it. Jacob saw Manorah Hamakom Hazeh, this grandeur and majesty of God's house. He overcame his fear in that moment and saw the divine and marked the place of his visions and spiritual and transcendence with a matzeva, a stone, and oil, naming the place Bethel, house of God. Like our Torah ancestors, we leave the place by choice and force. It is the story of people throughout time. We've each wrestled with our Hamakom stories. Mine was early fall 2016. 3 months from diagnosis and brain surgery, my husband Steve had aphasia from glioblastoma. Burial in a beautiful setting with rolling hills and trees. We had returned to Buffalo the year before for my 40th high school reunion at Amherst. I was touched by how many people came back. Less than a year to my surprise, I too returned. Hamakom Hazeh, this the place, divinity, where is it? Wherever I am. My heart still connected to where Steve's bones decomposed. But last fall, gnats, G-N-A-T-S, chased me from the gravesite. Was it Steve's spirit? He a N-A-T-S fan? The Washington Nationals. Baseball team named on the front of his matzeva. Later on the back, I added, Steve, they did it. Washington Nationals World Series champions, 2019. Live your life, Steve's spirit urged. I assured him I am. Finding Hamakom in Buffalo. In the sacred obligations between people and God, place, we are reminded that God is immanent everywhere, every place we go. I see a center for Jewish practice, a holy place for the divine to be within and with us. We will honor the relationship, build and nourish it. This place, Hamakom Hazeh, a circle, ma'agal, for shalom, peace and wholeness, and rofeh, healing. The circle for wholeness and healing. Wherever it is, song, dance, movement, play, meditation, Torah, prayer service, sitting, silence, reflection will flourish. Always sharing, building trust and relationship where people feel safe to share the stories, confidentiality paramount, healing and Hamakom, the divine, together. There may be wisdom keeper circles to broach subjects Steve and I never shared, and rituals to mark holy moments in our story like the matzeva and oil that Jacob used to anoint the place where the earthly met the spiritual on his journey. This may be during times of transformation, life cycles, when we seal in the awe of the experience, or ordinary days. Maybe we will witness the rebirth of divinity within. As the psalmist said, we will offer and cultivate the scroll of the book that was written for each of us personally. There will be private moments. Someone who needs a listening presence, and I will sit with them. I will listen with non-judgment, compassion, and love in my hands and heart. I might offer a prayer for Jew and non-Jew. Perhaps I will use my hands gently for the healing energy that flows from them. And comfort will be offered as when we depart graveside. Hamakom yenachem etchem betoch she'ar avelei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May the one who dwells in every place comfort you and bring you peace among all those who mourn. In times near death and grieving, we will find the divine in the process. I've discovered the divine arising in transitional moments that lead to one's own rebirth. my own included. We'll explore liturgy in creative ways. My weekday Amidah for women transitioning to saging is just one example. Any gender identification can relate and create in their own way. Each benediction became poetry about women's eldering process. I bound the work and hold workshops. Maybe we'll hold Walking the Mother Path cards and learn the quality we embody from women in our scriptures. Or simply have fun finding Hebrew letters in nature while hiking during Shabbat, chanting hallelujah to the trees or Magadlu Masechaya. How great are your works, endless possibilities, infinite delights to consider. Throughout the year, invited to participate in Jewish calendar events and life cycle preparations with individuals, families, communities. I have and will continue to create rituals, new from old, using intuitive and active listening. My approach is planting seeds of loving Torah, bringing forth its inspiration to begin or continue learning, to open to divinity. Some will know for the first time they are the living Torah. Will my path take me in the direction of congregational rabbi? I've seen my presence make a difference stepping into pulpits for brief times to inspire with Torah and song. Reckoning with synagogue politics and boards may not be my path. Or will my contributions primarily be outside traditional established Jewish institutions? May my greatest contributions be in the future to maintain tradition while reimagining and creating anew. I hear Rabbi Tarfon of the Second Temple Times say, "It is not your duty to finish the work, but neither are you at liberty to neglect it." I've sketched how I may serve as a modern rabbi, creating and assisting others to find hamakom, hazet, in their lives where they are. I will continue to discern my role, partnered with the divine mystery as the path is revealed. Recently, I called a friend for her 60th birthday to sing my favorite song for the occasion, God danced the day you were born, the angels did the bump to Gabriel's horn. God danced the day you were born. She texted me saying she loved hearing it. She felt so special. You are special, I told her. You are a gift to this world. I thought about teruma, the gifts we each bring in building the mishkan of our lives with Yud Hevavhe's presence, where it will reside within and among us. We lift up our personal, very own Torah, our gold, silver, copper, our sky blue and purple, and crimson wool linen and goat hairs, skins of rams, all the qualities we bring with a willing heart, our love to help build a container for the divine. May we recognize each of us is needed for healing, first ourselves, our communities, this world, for holy, the tov, good, to grow and prevail. May I help create space for hamakom hazet to reside, where people can grow as they discover the divine where they are. Together, we will share our unique gifts side by side with Creator's Spirit and be healing vessels in this world. May we feel safe to shine our lights in this, the place we occupied. Vasuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham vasuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham. Make for me a holy place so that I may dwell in their midst. Make for me a holy place so that I may dwell in their midst.
So we're going to invite Yonina, Rabbi Yonina, soon to be, down here to our Torah table. We have the very end of the book of Exodus, which we are reading today. And at the end of Exodus, we have the Mishkan, the tabernacle. So we're going to hear about how they finally completed this holy task, and then it will transition into Leviticus. So why don't you come down over here? Harvey, can you find the page in the seat in front of you? See what there? It's the very, very end of Exodus we're in. Oh, all the Chumashes are gone.
Here, there's one right here. You got one.
Here, we got right here. Okay, I'm going to invite everyone to rise while we're reading from the end. And we're going to say at the very end, Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek, which means to be strengthened. We should go forward when we complete a difficult task. We want to feel strength at the end, not weakness. Sometimes we're trying hard to do something and we complete it and we're just exhausted, but we should feel strength afterwards. On what page is it on? 391. All right, so Yonina, come over here. I'm going to call you up. Tamod, Tamod.
Abigail, Rachel. Yonina, Abigail, Rachel.
Yonina, Abigail, Rachel. Bat.
Hannah, Lev Hirsch.
Chana v'lev Hirsch l'aliyah harishona.
Ooh, that's so pretty. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Vayikas Hanan et Oel Moed ukvod Adonai malei et hamishkan velo yachol Moshe lavo el Oel Moed ki shochen alav Hanan ukvod Adonai malei et hamishkan uvelot Hanan me'al hamishkan yisu b'nei Yisrael b'chol Masehem v'im lo yaleh hanam v'lo yisu ad yom halato ki anan el ad yom halato ki anan Adonai el mishkan yomam v'eish tiyeh laila bo lene kol be'Yisrael b'chol mahaser. And let's do, should we do Chazak?
Yeah, I have a great chant. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, v'nit chazek, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, v'nit chazek. Let us be strong, strong, and strengthen each other. Look at each other. Strong, strong, and strengthen each other. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, v'nit chazek, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, v'nit chazek. Let us be strong, strong, and strengthen each other. Strong, strong, and strengthen each other. Phew, yeah, okay. Baruch atah Adonai. Oops, I did. Yeah, I forgot to do this, right? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. And I just forgot the blue line. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Thank
Yasher
you.
koach.
Yay, thank you.
We're going to remain standing for Aleinu, page 586.
586, yeah. Aleinu
Shabbat
l'shabbat
ladon hakol, latek gedula letzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gahor aleinu kechol hamonam, אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 591.
ונאמר
והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. May be seated. We turn to the Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. We have a number of losses recently. First of all, this past week, Glorine Curtis, who is the mother of Jack Curtis. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Jack. He is an only child, and he's been caring for his mother diligently for a long time. Jean Peck, who is Sean Peck's mother. We're also thinking from this past month, we are remembering Harvey Axelrod, Joan Cinta, Sharon Krebs, Mikhail Levin, Mary Lou Lagalbo, Richard Dick Meltzer, Paul Nemzer, Evelyn New, Hyman Polikoff, and Marilyn Zucker. I'll add also Claire Goldberg, who was the wife of Rabbi Goldberg, and a very important figure in our community. On our yard site list from years past, we remember Jerome Abelson, Myrna Ackerman, Leo Adler, Celia Atkin, Diane Hurwitz Baumler, Rebecca Bahovsky, Sam J. Kamhai, Sadia Ann Cohen, Teresa Comey, Elizabeth DeBrowen, Minnie Engel, Lillian B. Ensler, Doris Epstein, Alex Foreman, Morris Galinsky, Francis Cohn Goldman, Abraham Greenman, Geraldine Horwitz, Arthur Jad, Dr. Eric Kaminsky, Ida Kent, M. Robert Koren, Inez Crone, Rose Kutzman Kushner, Anne Maranka, Wilbert Nusanov, Sidney M. Olson, Julius J. Pick, Levian Burt Reich, Evan Remsen, Max Rosen, Patricia H. Savitt Barone, Max Schatzberg, Anita Schneider, John Stanley Chevet, Rose Simon, Gertrude Schwartz, Miriam Tenzer, Clara Theander, Madeline Truhaft, Stanley J. Weinberg, Joseph Weiss, Isaac Wertheim, and Thelma G. Weissman. If there's other names that you're thinking of, just raise your hand.
Lane Barron and Seymour Barron.
Oh, boy. We'll take all of those names and rise, for those of you whose custom it is to rise, page 598. Yitkadal, v'yitkadash, shemei rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach, heretei, v'yamlik malkutei, v'chayachon, v'yamachon, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agalah, v'yizman kariv, v'yimru.
Amen.
Yehi shmei rabbah mevorach v'olam u'me'omaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudeshav rechu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechamata damiran v'alma v'yimaru. Amen. Yehi shlam rabbah min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru. Amen. O says shalom b'imramav, huya says shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen.
Amen.
May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, and we say amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. Zikranam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. I'd like to invite up Bruce Chorus again to give our announcements. Looks like I brought the microphone over.
Who moved my mic?
At least I didn't drop it.
Well, that's true. See, I'm closer to the streamers. Hi. Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. Thank you to Rabbi Alex and Dr. Yanina Foster for a lovely service. We never know what to expect with you.
Nope.
But it always over-delivers. Very, very, very nice tonight. And on behalf of someone who deals with temple politics and a board, you're wise to stay away. Do something more, whatever you choose, traditional, non-traditional, will be wonderful for you, and you'll be wonderful at it. It was a really lovely speech that you wrote. It really was. Thank you to our service greeters, Sheila Bernard Tucker. Tomorrow morning, virtual. Oh, by the way, the rabbi asked if I could do one St. Patrick's Day joke. He said, "Do you have one?" I said, "I'll give you one." So a rabbi and a leprechaun walk into a bar. Bartender says, "What is this, a joke?" Give me a minute. All right, there you go. Takes a minute. Tomorrow morning, we have a virtual Torah study offering at 9 a.m. via Zoom. The Shabbat morning service and Kiddush luncheon will be at 10:45 at Temple Beth Tzedek. That's really working out. I'm really glad we were able to do that, our two temples together. People are really enjoying that. So I know you were involved in the beginning of that, so thank you.
And wait, I'm leading that too.
Oh, you're leading it?
Yeah.
All the more reason. A community religious school will be here Sunday morning. If you have any questions, please contact Anab Simons, our community religious school director. A week from tomorrow night, Winterfest, Saturday, March 25th, next door in the newly painted and well-lit social hall. Really very nice. At 7:30 p.m., we're going to have a band, we're going to have dancing, we're going to have lots of fun. The deadline for RSVPs is the 22nd. That's Wednesday, right? This Wednesday. Tickets are only $10 a person. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then we are this year able to do a joint Passover second night Seder again. We were able to bring that back. First time since the pandemic. We're doing that with Temple Beth Zion. It is at Transit Valley Country Club. That's Thursday, April 6th. Reservation forms are outside the temple office. RSVPs are due by March 30th. I mentioned this last week. As everyone knows, when you went grocery shopping for your matzah and everything else, prices of everything have gone up dramatically. We did the best we could with it, but it's not a cheap evening. However, it is an opportunity for those of you that want to be with the community for the second night Seder. We appreciate Rabbi Alex and Rabbi Gutman, who helped to underwrite the evening to keep the cost as low as we could. So thank you for that. But it's just nice that we can be together again. We haven't done that 4 years, right? Because the pandemic hit in March, and then Passover was not long afterwards. So we have not done not done an in-person Seder since 2019. So we're doing that. So that's nice. Pittsburgh trip, yay! It's a go. If you have been considering it, there's still a few spots on the bus apparently. So contact Nancy McGorry in the temple office. Let her know. We have other upcoming events that are in the service leaflet. Please take that home with you and hang on to it. And if you need anything at all, please feel free to reach out to Rabbi Alex Cantor Frank, but not now. She's out carousing on St. Patrick's Day. Let's leave her alone. Todd, Joanne, or myself, Todd will be back in town for the Winterfest. So if you need anything, hang on to it. And that's next Saturday night. Hit him with both barrels. Todd, I need this. Todd, I need that. Todd, let's just give him everything on Winterfest. He'll appreciate it, won't you, Todd? Anyway, please join us after services for the Onig. If you would like to sponsor an Onig for any special occasion or no occasion at all, talk to Joanne. Did you make green cookies? Oh, man. Green bagels? Green napkins? Nothing green. Well, there's some moldy stuff in there. Just don't eat that. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Bruce. Maybe, Yonina, we can end where we started with the Hamakom.
Okay.
Mano Ra Hamakom Hazeh. So let's look in our leaflet again. And again, this is a melody by Shefa Gold.
I do want to say thank you, though, because I realize I didn't really do traditional during our service except Misha Berach. So you were all wonderful, wonderful. And thank you. Manorah hamakom hazeh. 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 Manorah hamakom hazeh.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
As you came in peace, please leave in peace and return the prayer books, your sidurim, to the front, minus the leaflet. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom and thank you.